So the first thing that you're going to want to do is search the internet for at least 3 different animal photographs. So I ended up opening up 2 already in Photoshop. So I have one where both of these images are tigers because that's what I wanted to work with because they have a very strong pattern. So tigers, cheetahs, those would be interesting images to work with. So I have one that has its mouth wide open, and then I have another one where the mouth is shut. Both of these images are looking as straight onto the camera as they can. Again, I said that that was very important to find images that were looking straight on because the photograph that you're working with is also going to be looking straight on. So you kind of want to match the 2. The head for this one is perfectly in the center. And with this one, it's off to the side a little bit, but that's okay because if I look at this area here, I can still have that image in the center. And then I also took a photograph of myself, and even though there's a little bit extra room, I can crop this image as well in a few minutes, which you will see. So I have the images that I want to work with. Again, I only have 2 images open in Photoshop. You should have more than that. You should have searched the internet at this point already for 3 different animal images and saved them to your folder. So I have my photograph of myself open, and I'm not going to go through it with the video, but unfortunately this image did not look good with the face that I made. I think it would have been better if I made that face. So for the photograph, this image worked the best. So I took this image, opened it, I did select all, and then I did copy. So select all is Control A, copy is Control C, and then I went to my photograph, and now I'm going to do Control V. Oops. Select all, copy, here, paste. And here is my tiger image that I want to work with. I want to move this image up towards the face, right? So that it is covering up the face of the person. And what I want to do next is a few different things. I want to first erase the unnecessary information around the tiger's head, and I also want to erase the unnecessary information, so the door and the wall around me. Okay? So in order to do that, I need to come over here to my background layer, and I need to double click on it to unlock it. And then the eraser that I'm going to choose is going to be a hard edge, because if I do Control plus, zoom in, you'll see here this is a hard edge on my jacket. So I am going to use the brackets to get my brush the size that I want it. And I'm going to click once with my mouse, and then holding that Shift key, I'm clicking, and what that does is it allows to draw a straight line between those 2. And I'm going to do that all the way up. My ear is also a hard edge, and because I wore my hair up, this is also a hard edge. For you, it might be a hard edge or a soft edge. You have to look and see. However, for the tiger, it's very different. What I would be using here is soft edge only for my tiger. Again, it depends on the image that you chose. So I'm going to come up here and switch to my soft edge, change the brush to the size that I would like. The opacity for this is at 43. I want to make sure it's 100. And I'm just going to go around the edge, not getting too close to those ears right now. And I'm going to erase anything except for, I did Control Z because I made a mistake. I'm going to erase everything except for his face. And then I'll go in with a smaller brush and do his ears. So let me show you that. So here I have my image done with a black and white or a checkerboard background, which a lot of you don't like. So to fix that, we're going to do layer, new layer, and we're going to name it white layer. We're going to put this behind, and we're going to use the paint bucket and dump it white. And then we'll get that tiger image, and we'll also select all and copy and paste that on to here as well. So now that I have my tiger pasted on, as well as my layer, I can get to work. I'm going to name this person and tiger. And when I start to lower the opacity on this, you'll notice, let me zoom in, that the eyes don't line up perfectly. So what I'm going to do now on the tiger layer is Control T, and I'm going to start to move the eyes so that they'll line up. Again, Control T, and then I'm just kind of moving them so that they line up. And I'm taking my nose, so this is my nose here, and then this is the tiger's nose. So I'm moving this up. And you'll notice the mouths are starting to line up. And you'll notice when you line up one facial feature, the other one will get distorted a little bit. So you just kind of have to go back and forth and nudge the two of them. I think this is good. I'm not sure, so I'm putting it back up to 100. And I'm turning on and off the eyeballs. And as I'm doing that, I'm checking and seeing if it links up. You can also try at a lower opacity and check and make sure. So I do need to move this up a little bit more. And these eyes are now not in sync. So again, you're going to kind of, okay, the eyes are great. And I think that this is probably the best that I will get it. The chin isn't going all the way down to the chin, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate that tiger layer, turn off these other layers, and I'm getting my lasso tool, and I'm going over where the chin is, and I'm going to copy and paste, Control T it, turn this layer back on, and I'm going to get this chin to be more in line with my chin. And then using the soft edge eraser again, clean that up. And now I'm going to merge those layers together. Okay. So this will be what I'll call, actually I don't need this one anymore because that's the bad chin. So I'm going to duplicate this layer. I'm going to name this one Original and turn it off for safekeeping. And then I'm going to name this one Tiger, duplicate, and now name this Eyes. And I'm going to go in with my soft edge eraser. Again, it is. I like the opacity lower than 50. And I'm going to start to get my eyes to come through. In the history menu, you can see how many times I'm erasing. I like doing it with the soft edge eraser because I feel like it allows these two layers to blend together. I feel as if you do it with the hard edge eraser or even with the soft edge eraser at 100%, it's not going to allow that blend to happen. So now I'm going to come over here and do this eye. So I've changed the opacity to multiply, and I am again going in with the soft edge eraser. I'm going to put it back up to 100 for a minute, and I'm going to erase this extra ear and here, and then I'm going to make my brush softer around here to get the bangs of my hair to start showing through. And again, I lowered the opacity. And I'm going to pop this back up to 100. going just along my jaw. So here I have my face. Again, I allowed my eyes to come through, and I put it to multiply. And if I wanted to keep going with it, I could duplicate this layer and start to erase other areas of my face, like my mouth and nose. So I'm turning off this layer, making sure my mouth layer is highlighted. Again, I would do it around 40%. Control plus, zoom in, hand on spacebar, and I can start to erase. You can stop whenever you think it's the most successful. You don't have to continue to erase, so maybe that looks good. Duplicate it again. Add the nose. And again, everything is lining up because I did Control T and made sure to move everything so that it worked. All right, so now I'm doing my nose. And then I'm going to lower the opacity even more in the brush. And then there we have more of the face coming through. Again, you can do as much or as little as you want. Maybe this is a good stopping point for you. You have to decide. And then whenever you are done, you can think about maybe opening up that window, timeline, create video timeline, the 3 squares, and then you can duplicate your frames and decide how you want this animation to go. Again, forever, and make sure you change these to what you would like. All right.